I have a responsibility to reach out to that person. In fact, for the motto of the Old Men's Project was men's work to stop male violence.
Right.
Because men are the perpetrators, and we have a responsibility to reach out to each other.
You know Hamish Sinclair,
Right.
who was on our program recently and talked about collusion. How men collude with each other. They laugh, they joke, they support each other in what
Right.
they do. And it sounds
And ally is just the opposite of that.
of colluding.
And it's instead of bonding around the violence against women or racism, or it's challenge and support for each other around building a more just, a fair, a safer society.
Great. Another one of the ideas that you had, which surprised me and I thought I'd like to bring up tonight, was your notion of what a successful parent achieves when they raise a boy, a son. It's different from what we normally think. We normally think of becoming wealthy, becoming popular, having security. What are the criteria you think go into success for a parent in raising a boy?
I think that, when the women's movement came along, we modified those expectations. Not only successful, but didn't hurt their partners, weren't abusive. Maybe shared the housekeeping and the child care.
Right.
We added some expectations.
Yes.
But we didn't think about what men are going to stand for and who they're going to stand with. And so we didn't actually include them in the possibilities of being part of a community that's working for social justice. And so the question that I ask myself, that I ask about my kids, that I hope other people will ask is, who will our sons stand for? What will they stand for? And who will they stand with?
Will they stand for, and who
will they stand for social justice? And will they stand with all of those who are being mistreated or abused or exploited in this society? As a man, will they stand with women? As a white person, will they stand with people of color for racial justice? And those are the questions. If our children can answer those questions with pride, then we will have succeeded in raising a generation who is working with us to build a stronger, safer community.
Well, that really resonates with me. I find that to be intriguing and exactly what I would wish myself success in. Think about who will we stand with, and I'm reminded of another one of your exercises that I'm grateful for you having brought up. It's called the stand-up exercise, if you have ever been the stand-up. And that comes out in your earlier book, which we haven't talked about, and some of the curricula that you write for schools and that you offer in schools has this as one of the elements. Could you explain that exercise? And
that's part of the kind of the history of the work, is we started focusing on men's issues, men's violence, and we realized that to do this, to really do the prevention work, we had to be working with young people. And so we developed some curricula, a lot of exercises in the schools, juvenile hall, recreation programs, residential programs.
Exercise meaning training exercises.
Training exercises, classroom exercises, role plays, ways for young people to grapple with these issues and look at their alternatives. Because what we discovered is this is not biological. Boys are not born in that box. Boys have a tremendous sense of caring and fairness and social justice. And we can nurture that. We can give them opportunities to be involved in taking care of things and being members of the community. Or, as we more often do, we can toughen them up, push them in the box, and tell them that they better not cry, and if they're challenged, they better fight back real quickly, or they're going to be taken advantage of.
I know I did the exercise at a military base one time, and I asked some of the stand-up questions. And the questions go, if you have ever felt that you needed to act tough in order to be a man, stand. And men stand silently, and I then thank them and they sit down. If you've ever taken drugs or put your fist through the wall to show your anger or to calm down, stand. And I remember doing this exercise with people in the military, and I was afraid they wouldn't act. And I was startled, and so was the audience, to see men standing and saying what being act like a man box has done to them.
Right. What the costs are. What the costs are to us of living in that box.
What kinds of risks you take, what kinds of investments you make in your health, in your safety, how you've harmed other women. The question I asked about someone, have you ever had sex with a woman against her will? How many men stood up? By the time we got to that question, they were willing to confront their own history of historical, biographical violence against women.
Right, and that's the positive part, is that over and over again...
What's the positive part?
That we know that men don't want to be in that box. They've been told that there's only two, you're either a champ or a chump, a bully or a wimp, a winner or a loser. But when we have a chance to sit down with them and talk or do exercises with them or look at the options and realize that they pay tremendous costs for being in that box. They don't want to be in the box. And given some safety, some help, some connection with other men, that they can step out of the box. They can start recreating their lives that don't involve control and abuse and pain and isolation and the kind of drug and alcohol and other drug abuse that many men turn to numb the pain. So it's tremendously, I find this work tremendously optimistic and inspiring because men don't want to be in the box. They don't want to be trained for roles that are going to hurt other people. And they want a chance to connect. They want a chance to be active and involved. One of the things I talk about in Boys Will Be Men is that to give our sons an opportunity for community service, to take them out into the community, get them involved with a homeless shelter, Feed the Hungry program, an environmental cleanup program, for example.
Right.
Boys want to feel like they can make a difference, that they're part of a community. And if we give them that opportunity, it encourages them. It breaks down the isolation, the alienation, the frustration, and connects them. And that's so important when we're raising boys.
Well, I dare say that I grew up, as most men did, as a regulation sexist, racist, and ethnically prejudiced person. I was stuck in the box, and some 25 years ago, NOMAS, the National Organization for Men Against Sexism, Racism, and Homophobia, came into existence. It was called the National Organization for Changing Men back then. And it gave me the possibility of meeting with other men who supported me, who became, in another way of talking about it, my allies, my brothers, in being able to deal with the box that I was stuck in as a parent. I didn't know how to be a powerful, domineering person, and yet model the sensitivity I wanted my son to have. And NOMAS helped me discover that.
Well, I think
how do men do this? I mean, how
well,
do
I think that's why men are attracted to programs like the Promise Keepers or the Men's Movement, or they get together on the Million Man March, is because we're hungry for that sense of connection. And there's a tremendous amount of pain and isolation we carry around with us. What we need to do is not only get together on the basis of that pain and isolation, though, but also in terms of taking responsibility for how we've passed that on to those around us.
And pass it on?
In terms of controlling or abusive behavior to our partners or our kids. Or then, what are we going to do about that? How are we going to become back involved in the community to make positive change, to rebuild things?
I'm going to have to say that we can't continue this right now, but I'm going to ask them to come and hear you talk some more at the NOMAS conference this summer in Colorado.
Okay,
the
great.
Answers to the issue, the answers that you have for some of the questions, so many of the questions that men want to ask, will come out then. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. I really appreciate the time that you've given us, Paul. We look forward to seeing you soon again. This has been wonderful meeting with you and wonderful having a chance to talk to you about these issues. And I think you'll have an opportunity to do a lot with the people who come to the conference, because they will be coming with all the hunger.